There's a question that I think is on everyone's minds recently. If AI can do anything, if it can develop like a senior level developer, if it can write professionally, if it can create art that wins art competitions, how the hell are humans supposed to make a living? Because if AI can do all of these technical skills, then what is actually valuable anymore? What's left for us? And I've been obsessing over this very question for months because I had a bit of an existential crisis once I realized how fast AI is moving and everything that it can do now. But I've noticed a pattern of human skills that AI will never be able to replace. In fact, that get more valuable as AI advances. I've put this all into a framework I call TACTILE. And if you get this right, you won't just survive in the AI age, but you'll thrive. You'll equip yourself with the skills needed to make yourself highly valuable in a world of AI and know how to better utilize AI than anybody else, allowing you to make more money. Now, there's a general panic, and rightfully so, because AI is rapidly getting better at a lot of these technical skills. Anybody can have a senior level developer in their back pocket now to code whatever they want. Anybody can whip up beautiful art or design in seconds using AI. And IBM did a study showing that 40% of the workforce, 1.4 billion people, will have to develop new skills in the next 3 years to adapt to the AI age. I'll let you in on a secret. The real value isn't knowing how to build the thing. The real value is in knowing what to build in the first place. Now, to give you an example, you have the two co-founders of Apple. You have Steve Jobs and you have Steve Wozniak. Now, you probably know Steve Jobs because he's much more famous than Steve Wozniak, and his strong suit, his skill set, was problem solving. It was developing beautiful products that people use every day to solve their problems and to make their life easier. Now, the crazy part is that Steve Jobs didn't know how to code. He was not technical. That was Steve Wozniak's job. But Steve Jobs is really the reason Apple is so successful today and why they haven't been the same since he died, because the real value was in Steve Jobs' taste, his vision, his ability to spot problems and solve them in the most beautiful way possible. So let me reframe this, because this is either the scariest time to be living in or the best time. If you're purely technical, if you're leaning away from AI, if you're looking at it as a competition, you're going to have a bad time. But if you're entrepreneurial, if you're a problem solver, if you work on your ability to see problems other people can't, then this is the best opportunity to be living in. Because in the AI age, you'll be paid for your taste. You'll be paid for your ability to identify problems and solve them, to see what other people can't. Now, let me go over my 7-step framework I call TACTILE to equip you with these skills to make yourself highly valuable in the AI age and allow you to make money no matter how advanced AI gets. Now, the T in TACTILE is for taste. And again, this is what made Steve Jobs and Apple so valuable. This is what makes movie directors, music producers, artists highly valuable. In a plethora of options, do you have the ability to pick the right one, the one that hits the hardest? And with AI being able to generate an infinite amount of content, do you have the taste to pick the best option? You've probably heard the term AI slop being thrown around all over social media. And what this has come to mean is just basically generic, low effort AI content that anyone can create. And people are using AI slop for their social media content, for their websites, for their products. And so you being able to go the extra mile, demanding more out of these AI models and having the taste to choose the best one will make a world of difference. Because I have seen when AI generated content goes really right and gets a positive response instead. And so your taste here makes all of the difference. The A in TACTILE is for AI fluency, knowing AI's capabilities, knowing AI's limitations, knowing the best places to apply AI, and also knowing when not to apply AI. So just learning everything you possibly can about AI and how to utilize it as a tool and a partner. Again, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs were so powerful together because Steve Jobs knew how to communicate his visions to Steve Wozniak. He knew his capabilities, he knew his limitations, and they best knew how to work together to see these products come to life. And so your job is to understand AI on a deep level because it's going to be highly integrated in our lives going forward. C is for context architecture. Now, AI doesn't have backstory. AI doesn't know what's in your head. AI doesn't understand your vision, but you do. And so your success and the result that you get is going to be highly dependent on the context that you can give. Now, most people are absolutely horrible at this. They say things like, build me a to-do app or make my website prettier. And you have to imagine if you had an employee with zero context and you told them to do the same thing, well, you'd probably be unhappy with the result because they don't know what's in your head. And so changing that from, make my website prettier to make my website designed as if, Apple designed it. Use rounded corners and soft shadows and beautiful seamless gradients and modern font. Well, you being able to provide more context and specify as much as you can will allow you to get a better result out of AI and will help make you AI fluent. Real quick, I put together an entire playbook that we equip you with the skills that print money in the AI age and make you highly valuable. And so this has everything in here from my entire framework to how to actually make money with AI to how to apply it practically. So this will give you everything A to Z. If you want it, it's completely free. All you have to do is click the link down in the description below and I'll send it to you. T is for transformational thinking, being able to spot clunky experiences or friction or inefficiencies where other people just accept it. For example, businesses slapping together 10 different applications when one AI coded solution could do the same job better. Or where they're spending a ton of manual labor, filling out forms or whatever, when AI could easily automate it. This is where a lot of your value is going to be, spotting, these problems or inefficiencies and thinking there's a better way for this. An example is, what if you created an AI agent for each person's calendar, and rather than having to figure out the calendar manually with the person, you schedule a meeting, your AI agents just talk to each other to find the perfect time, instead freeing up your time and allowing you just to look at your calendar. I is for integration mastery. So now that you have taste, you can provide context, you are constantly looking for problems, and you have AI fluency, applying it all together and knowing where to apply AI and when, because sometimes there's times where you shouldn't apply AI. L is for lived experience. And this is something that AI will never be able to replace, because AI can only theorize what joy or pain or heartbreak feels like, but it will never be able to experience it for itself and develop that empathy. And that is a highly valuable thing unique to humans, because it will allow you to refine your taste. It will allow you to better spot problems. It will allow you to provide better solutions, because after all, we are developing products or services for other humans. And so taking that experience and bringing it to AI and working together to develop a better output. And this is why AI will always need a human to direct it to create good results. Because if you've ever tried to prompt AI to write you a script or a letter without providing much context or feedback, it was probably pretty boring or generic or soulless. And so taking that lived experience and bringing it to AI will give you much more powerful outputs. And again, this is what makes art so beautiful, or movies or music, is that lived experience and connecting with other humans. Lastly, E is for execution velocity. Now, I have definitely experienced this, and you may have too, but with AI being able to create limitless possibilities, I have found myself in kind of analysis paralysis, wanting to choose the perfect thing or perfect the result and taking forever on one thing. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and the menu is 10 pages long and it takes you forever to order because there's so many different options. Now, your discipline and ability to choose one thing quickly, even if it's not perfect, will set you apart. Because in this AI age, things are moving incredibly fast. And if you take forever on one thing, you're going to be left behind. And so your ability to ship regularly with speed will make all of the difference. Now, that's the tactile framework, and if you apply this skill set to yourself, it will make you highly valuable and allow you to make money and find opportunity no matter how advanced AI gets. But practically, how do we actually now apply this and turn it into real money? So there are two obvious paths when it comes to making money, and number one is just creating and building excellent experiences, raising the bar, raising your standards, and not just creating more AI slop, but creating products or services that feel crafted. A lot of businesses are putting together solutions or have lived with solutions that are just good enough for a very long time, but good enough is where all of the opportunity is. Businesses that are using 10 different softwares that could do the job when one AI coded software could do the job, or they have a lot of, they're spending a lot of time filling out manual processes when you could automate this with AI. And so businesses are willing to pay a lot of money, thousands of dollars, if you can craft an excellent experience or product to free up their time or to save them money. Now, opportunity number 2, which I think is way more lucrative and easier to get started with, is just building niche solutions. It's finding a group or a little segment in the market and just building a specific solution just for them. And this is exactly what I do at my AI software studio, Hyper-Specific AI. Now, before with software, for example, with traditional development, software costs tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to build out. It took months at a time. It took a team of developers. So a lot of problems just weren't worth solving because of the expense of software. But now with tools like Claude Code and GPT-5, anybody can create fully fledged, fully functional softwares for dirt cheap using AI. And so finding specific segments of the market that have a very specific problem and creating a software just for them. For example, an Airbnb just for disabled people that prioritizes accessible homes, or a nutrition tracking app specifically for, diabetics or pregnant women, or building a client management portal specifically for a chiropractor or a personal trainer, exactly to how they work. Whatever it is, you can find a segment of the market that's underserved, provide value to them, and make a lot of money very quickly. So that's the formula, taking that tactile framework and pairing it with an excellent experience or a very niche solution. And that's how you make money in the AI age. So the people that look at AI as competition will get left behind. But if you lean into it and use AI to amplify your thinking, your judgment, your taste, and use it as a partner, well, you're the one that's going to make all of the money. So thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope you got value out of it. Again, click the link down in the description below to get that tactical playbook completely free and arm yourself with the skills to make you valuable in the AI age. But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing down below for plenty more AI content. And thanks again for joining me.